Hi there and welcome to our course. Joseph Kursky here, geographer and educator, your facilitator for this course, and here really as a guide to all things spatial. In fact, our course is called Isn't That Spatial? Analyzing Our World Using Digital Maps and Spatial Thinking. Let me warn you right away. If you don't like maps and looking at data and delving into questions, you'll probably be kind of miserable in this course because that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be delving into the main issues of our 21st century world. Issues like energy and water, population change, natural hazards, land use, sustainable agriculture, and so on. These issues are key to local, regional, Colorado, statewide, USA, and the globe. There's really no discipline that I can think of that doesn't have a where question in it. And that's exactly why spatial thinking and analysis applies to so many disciplines, not just geography or earth science or environmental science, although those are the three main disciplines it applies to, but it also applies to mathematics, to history, to language arts, and others. We will be analyzing our world in this course through digital maps and spatial thinking. Why? Because, as I mentioned, spatial thinking cuts across multiple disciplines. And also because it's so inquiry-driven. And through digital maps, students will be using these maps to analyze key issues in their communities, their region, and their world, in space and in time. 4 technical notes I'd like to share for this course. First of all, we will be making maps with a variety of technologies. These maps are laden with information, and therefore a decent web connection is important for this course. Second, to take advantage of these web-based technologies, you'll be needing to use a new-ish version of a standard web browser, such as Firefox, Chrome, Safari, or Internet Explorer. In other words, a 5-year-old browser just won't have all the Java and other plugins necessary to be able to take advantage of this rich content that we'll be exploring through these maps. Number 3, the technologies we will use in this course include a web browser, the Moodle interface, MS Word or a text editor, and also taking screenshots. In other words, taking pictures of your data, whatever's on your screen, and embedding that in a document. On point 4, at a few points during the course, you'll be asked to create a screenshot of the map in your web browser, to save that screenshot to a JPEG or other kind of a file, and know how to embed that into a document to put in the Moodle course. Make sure you know how to do this, and let me know if you need any help. Fourth, because our course is web-based and uses dynamic maps, as with anything on the web, be patient, right? You know how it is. Practice the sort of problem solving that you want to have your students do. You're going to be modeling that for your students. Be flexible. If a certain map or website won't display at a particular time, I'd rather have you move on and think about the larger issues that we're going through, that we're discussing. Not, for example, the technical details of embedding a video inside a pop-up box in a map. Okay? That's minor and that's beside the point. The main issue is how am I going to use geotechnologies and spatial thinking to teach with? That's the main point. Keep learning and have fun. The goal of our course, Isn't That Spatial? Analyzing Our World Using Digital Maps and Spatial Thinking, is to provide confidence, skills, and the spatial perspective necessary to foster spatial analysis in geography, earth and biological sciences, history, mathematics, computer science, and in other disciplines. Our course objectives are as follows. Number 1, I want you to be enabled to understand what spatial thinking and geotechnologies are and why they're important to society. Number 2, I'd like you to be enabled to understand how spatial thinking and geotechnologies can be used in education through modeling how they can be taught and used to foster spatial and holistic thinking, problem-based learning, and inquiry. Number 3, I'd like to equip you with specific skills in spatial thinking and the use of web-based geographic information systems, or GIS, tools in the disciplines of earth science, history, technology, and environmental science, geography, language arts, and mathematics. Our 4th goal is as follows: to give you the confidence that you can construct your own units, lessons, syllabi, and other curricular items that foster skills using these technologies and methods. The structure of the course is as follows. We will be having 5 modules in the course. Each module corresponds to 1 week, and therefore the course is 5 weeks long. Each module contains the following items: an introduction, a forum with a discussion board that you can respond to, and also hear what and look at what other colleagues of yours are responding, and have a real interaction. Hands-on activities, and a self-assessment. Those are the 4 components in each module, or each week. There's also one additional module item in Module 5, and that is a plan where you can tell me and others what and how you will do with these spatial technologies and methods, how you're going to implement these in your course, or courses. I'd really love to hear what you have in mind. In other words, we're going to take what we're learning in the course and apply it to your own discipline, your own classroom, your own setting. We're going to be looking at a lot of different content here in the course. As I mentioned earlier, the disciplines are cross-cutting. We're going to be doing some things that are central to human and cultural geography. We're going to be doing some things in physical geography, a little bit of earth science, a little bit of environmental science, a lot of technology, but also a little bit of history, some mathematics, some language arts even, through story maps and others. In this course, we're going to be looking at some research. Not a lot, but some, enough to get you started in this whole field. We're going to be looking at what several geographers have said in terms of what spatial thinking is and why it's important. And also, we're going to be looking at some documents that the National Academy of Sciences has commented on and written a report on this topic of spatial thinking. The problems that we're going to delve into in this course range. It's going to be very exciting, folks. We're going to be looking at local issues. We're going to be looking at some regional issues. We're going to be looking at statewide issues, national issues, and global issues. So lots of different scales. We're going to have the modules in our course as structured as follows. First, Module 1 is the introduction. What is spatial thinking? Why should I care about it? Why should I use it in education? And a little bit of hands-on work right there, get you going right there, starting at get your feet running in hands-on spatial thinking and activities. Number 2, we're going to be looking at population, demographics, components of population change. In the 3rd module, we're going to be looking at natural hazards, including earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, tornadoes, hurricanes, and so on. In the 4th module, or 4th week, we're going to be looking at the concept of change, land use change, population change, and other kinds of changes, both natural causes and caused by humans. And the 5th module, or 5th week, we're going to be looking at how to incorporate your own field data into a geographic information system or a web-based GIS. Ooh, this is so exciting because it opens up lots of possibilities, whether you're mapping pH in streams with your students, or you're mapping trees on campus and analyzing litter on campus, or you're looking at historical buildings in your community. All kinds of field work that you or other people have gathered, you can incorporate into these geotechnologies and then make sense of it through maps. Some of the tools that we'll use here in the course include the Mapping World's cartograms. What's a cartogram, Joseph? Well, dive into the course and we'll find out. We're going to be looking at the National Atlas of the United States in digital form, and we're going to spend a lot of time in the tool called ArcGIS Online. Folks, I'm really glad you're joining me in this class. It's a fun class. It's going to be an exciting class. We're going to do a lot of hands-on work. We're going to delve into some of the literature and the research. We're going to have a discussion and build community, because one of the important things about geotechnologies, yes, it's data, yes, it's hardware, yes, it's software, yes, it's specific tools like how close is something to another thing, what is a map projection, how can I measure distances, that sort of thing. But also, it's people. Networks. That's really important, not just in education, but in all kinds of fields that use GIS. Health, transportation, defense, natural resources, etc. They all depend on the people, the network. So I want you to establish a network of like-minded educators using these geotechnologies and spatial thinking in the classroom. Some of the different topics that we'll look at here in the course include, I'm so excited about this. First of all, let's talk about a few of the global ones. We'll look at land use change. We'll look at earthquakes and plate boundaries, plate tectonics, volcanoes, tsunamis. We'll look at global life expectancy around the world. Now, in terms of the national level, at the USA level, we'll look at population change. We'll look at components of population, so demographics, median age, median income, ethnicity, and so on. We'll also look at USA tornadoes, historical and current tornadoes. We'll look at temperature extremes, high and low temperature extremes, so do a little bit of weather and climate analysis. At the local level, we'll do a lot of interesting things too. We'll look at some tsunami damage at a local level. And maybe not in the place that you think we're going to look at. We're going to look at population change in neighborhoods. Yes, at the neighborhood level, including your own neighborhood. Also, we're going to look at land use change on a college campus over the years, over the last 40 years or so. We'll also look at trees, specific trees on a high school campus, and a whole lot more. But I don't want to give it all away. You need to take the course and find out more. I look forward to seeing you online. Take care and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.